Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Dark Souls. We are back at the Pardoner. I just wanted to show off a couple of things.
Greetings. Just in time.
So, last time we left our Forest Hunter Covenant and joined the Chaos Servant Covenant. And then I turned in every ounce of humanity that I had. We're going to just turn around and abandon that covenant right there. Just thank you, that was fun. I hope you enjoy your 30 humanity. This might be a bad idea, I might be screwing stuff up here, but that's okay. And then Absolution. So because we just left the Forest Hunter Covenant without coming to talk to the Pardoner and having him let us break our covenant, we have sinned. Leaving your covenant is a sin, who knew? We can pay 24,000 souls to request absolution and be absolved of that sin. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that now. I may or may not do that in the future. We don't really have enough souls to do that now. But, yeah, so we could potentially be invaded by the, like, police of the Dark Souls world. There's a covenant called the Darkmoon Blades, and they seek out and can, like, invade and kill people who have sinned. That's their whole covenant. Sinning, you can also sin if you kill an NPC. I think I've talked about this a little bit before. So, like, if we went down and killed Andre of Astora, the blacksmith here, that would count as a sin. So I don't want to do that. Also, we're going to head back towards Firelink real quick. Another way that you can sin is by invading and killing another player, and then having them use an indictment to report you as a sinner. That counts as a sin as well. So yeah, it's just a little mechanic. I don't know, it feels kind of like the Blue Sentinels in Dark Souls 2, in that it's kind of a cool idea, but maybe not fully baked into the game enough to be worthwhile. Like, I don't think I've ever been invaded by a Darkmoon Blade, and I don't think I've ever seen them in the game. Like, it just doesn't seem like a... Something must be wonky about the way they've implemented it, because it doesn't seem like a viable PvP option in this game. So we're headed right back down here into Ghost Town. Down where the blacksmith is, and where we can get to Valley of the Drakes and all this good stuff. And on our way down, I'm going to swap back over to our crest shield. And I'm going to equip an item here. Maybe. There we go. Transient Curse. We're going to do that. We'll go ahead and send the elevator back up. There's a good chance that we're going to be dying down here and having to return a couple times. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. So yeah, we're going to go start exploring the New Londo Ruins. This area is just horrible. It is one of the worst areas in the game. It's so bad. And the reason it's so bad are because of the ghosts. So I did a little suicide run here way back at the beginning of the game. We'll see them in just a moment here, but there are ghost enemies. There they are. They can only be hurt if you are cursed. And that means, like, if you died to an actual curse, like the basilisks that we encountered in the sewers, or if you use a transient curse, it is exactly what it sounds like. It is a temporary curse that lasts for a little while, and doesn't actually have any sort of negative impact on you, but it lets you attack the ghosts while you have it. And I think it lets you block their attacks as well, which is good. Otherwise, just you don't have any way of interacting with the ghosts. And since they are ghosts, they can do crap like that, where they just show up out of nowhere. Now, luckily for us, I have a really awesome weapon, and can kill them all in one hit. So that's going to be really handy. There are also a few cursed weapons in the game that you can equip. There we go. And those cursed weapons will also let you do damage to the ghosts without actually needing to be cursed yourself. Yeah, but they have, like, grab attacks and just a whole host of nasty things they can do. And the fact that they're ghosts, so they can, like, go through the floors and stuff. we go. Left, there's stairs there. Will be... Is that... Okay, I guess we're going there now. There will be shortcuts and things that we will be opening up later, but for now we gotta get through this area first. Also, there's gonna be a lot of items that are in obvious locations like that. They are indeed traps. Thank you, Admiral Akbar. Thank you for teaching us about the traps. Yeah, and you can see, like, that's a pretty obvious trap. There's a ghost sticking out of the freaking wall. And now it's a dead ghost. Yeah, this area is rough. And I'm going to really need to keep an eye on my HP. Also, you can only use a transient curse when you don't have one active, so if you keep it out on your bar and you'll see that it's grayed out there, that's how you can know when it's about to wear off, or when it has worn off, I guess. It'll be active again. This is a Banshee, kind of a super ghost. Oh. Okay. Well, I didn't really expect that to happen. I thought I was using Mastus. Like I said, those ghosts suck. And then, of course, if you run out of transient curses when you're down there, you are in a spot of trouble. So that's a thing that we're going to have to keep an eye on. And not having access to the Firelink Shrine bonfire means that we have a bit of a jog ahead of us every time we want to get back down there. I'm probably going to include this run right now, but any future deaths I don't think I'm going to bother including. Like, I'm going to cut out this running time, because this is stupid. That was weird. I wonder why I couldn't hit her. My transient curse was active. I should have been able to hurt her. I mean, it's not the end of the world, I suppose. We should be able to get those souls back without too much trouble, I think. Like, being able to kill the ghosts in one hit makes this area a lot less dangerous, because I can kill them so quickly. Let's try using our words. I can kill them so quickly that it's just, like, they're not that big of a threat. They won't really have that much of a chance to actually do damage to me. But still... You gotta be careful. Their grabs are just really nasty, especially when you are in all light, pathetic armor like I have. It's a cool area, though, like the flooded city, and it's a ghost town, quite literally, filled with ghosts. Boy, I really hope we get more transient curses. Oh, and I just remembered, from being down in Blighttown, I still have the wrong ring equipped. So we'll go back to the Poise ring. That is a much better ring to have equipped. And the ghosts, they do all show up in the same place, like they all respawn in the same areas, so you can get used to where they are and kind of figure it out. Ooh, hello. They don't do a ton of damage with any of their attacks, but that's kind of the threat. Like, they do lots of quick attacks that do just little bits of damage. They kind of chip away at you until you die. We don't need to deal with that one. I would love to get my souls back, though. There's a treasure chest right over there. It'd be really nice to have. Okay, so it was just like my thrust attack was not working on that ghost the last time, the Banshee there. So that's okay. Alright, and then fog wall here, so we're moving into the next area. That's good. This area sucks. We'll go ahead and kick the ladder down. I don't think we're going to use it. There's a ghost up above, and I think there's ghosts down below, and they'll all kind of stab in towards me. Like that. You gonna come down here so I can fight you? This place is really awesome if you have any sort of ranged attacks, like pyromancies, or sorceries, or even like a bow and arrow. For what I should hope be obvious reasons. Oh, can I get that? Oh, I can't get that because you're too high. Oh, and that's the problem with the ghosts, is when they die, they sometimes drop transient curses, and you can't get them. Which I'm going to go ahead and kick all this other crap off my bar, just so I can swap between the two items I care about much more quickly. So yeah, there's one attacking us from below, there's another one attacking us from below. We're just going to keep marching here. And then there's going to be... They're going to... Are you... Okay, I don't think they're coming after us. There's going to be a bunch that come from down by the water here. Ugh, I hate this area. We're in the ghost house now. This area sucks. There's just a ton of ghosts in here, in all the walls and the ceiling and floor and just everything. So we'll be fine. I just got to keep an eye on my HP, and we got to go, you know, slowly and cautiously through here. I don't want to get grabbed. Cool, we got a couple of transient curses dropped by a ghost. That's awesome. Which I feel like they're about to wear off. So I'm gonna see. Look. Oh, and there's another freaking Banshee up ahead too. The Gravelord Sword jump attack is really good at dealing with these things. Okay, so there's the Banshee there. Oh, you shoot lightning. I forgot about that. I'm just going to kind of wait, because I think my transient curse is about to wear off, and I would rather not be in the middle of trying to fight a Banshee. And I guess I'm not waiting anymore, so never mind. And there it wears off right as I kill the Banshee. Good timing. Whew. Okay, so that's the way up. So we're almost done here. There's only like one or two more ghosts in this entire area, I think. There's one here. I can see you through the wall. And now you're dead. Are you gonna show up? Yes, you are. I wonder if we can go back around into the room here and get this one. Yeah, there you are. Okay, alright. Ghost House has more or less been cleared out. That's good. This area is kind of optional. There's a way you can like run and jump and avoid going through here. It's a tricky jump to make though, and I didn't feel like risking it, so I'm okay with this. And then up here we have a friend. Nice, friendly, red-robed person.
Well, this is a surprise. I don't get many visitors, except for ghosts. Do you have some business here? My name is Ingward. I'm an old man, bound to these parts, but I don't mind a chat. I may even be of some help.
Cool. So Ingward here, he will just break curses if you are cursed, so pretty handy. And he also sells transient curses, 1,000 souls a pop. And he sells the Resist Curse magic spell, which will cure cursing, I think? I don't know, I've never actually used it. It is a sorcery. I've never used sorceries in this game. We can keep talking to him.
I am the guardian of the seal. I watch over the four kings, the masters of the Dark Wraiths. The Dark Wraiths are the enemies of man, and any living thing that has a soul. They were born in New Londo. That is where they perished. The entire city was sacrificed to contain them, for that is how great a threat they were. I am the god. I want the dark.
Okay, well that's all that we can do with him for now. He mentions the Four Kings, the Dark Wraiths. We will learn more about the Dark and the Abyss and everything that's going on later, but for now, in a nutshell, the story is the Four Kings of New Londo became corrupted by the concept of, like, dark power. Something introduced them to this dark power, and they kind of gave birth to, like, Dark Wraiths, and were kind of bringing back this ancient evil known as the Dark, or the Abyss. And three sealers used their abilities to kind of flood New Londo, and then seal the kings in, and they kind of watch over this area, although one of them was killed, and then the other one, I think, like, decided to abandon her post and run away. And Ingward is the only one left here. We are not far enough in the story to, along the critical path, to kind of interact with him properly. This is sequence breaking that I'm doing right now. We're kind of not supposed to be down here in Ghost City yet. So he won't actually give us the key that we're after, which means we gotta take it the old-fashioned way.
Oh, you... Allow this. Forgive me, my countrymen.
I do kind of like that if you're playing the game out of order, they do force you to actually kill him. It kind of ties into what we're doing a little bit more than if, say, he were to just give us the key. Okay, cool. So we now have the key of the seal. We can now actually break the seal and let loose the Four Kings. Not really let them loose. You'll see. Okay. So we went right through the house here. We went, straight ahead. That's going to be the fireplace that we climbed. Off to the right, that's where we just were. So if we go to the left here, this is where we came in. Like I said, you can run if you are good. You can run and you can jump off this little ledge here, and you can land on that really narrow ledge ahead and keep going and just kind of bypass the house. You can't do anything if you don't have the key to the seal. So you would have to have like a bow and arrow or something and be able to kill Ingward from afar, because it just places the key in your inventory. But we could actually keep going that way. I think there might be another item down here. We stick inside the house. Probably more ghosts. I have no transient curses active. Yeah, more ghosts. And if you... oh, Cursebite ring. That ring prevents you from being cursed. Or it increases your curse resistance, I guess. kind of an interesting idea, although by this point in the game, we're mostly done with cursing as a status effect. So yeah, this is the other side. This is where we could have jumped down to. It's a really narrow ledge. It's a pretty tricky jump to nail. Takes a lot of practice, and I just am no good at that. Oh, and again, we killed a ghost and it was too high, so we don't get the transient curse. That's a shame. If I'm not mistaken, there's probably going to be like ghosts and bad things down here. A single green Titanite shard. That is just useless. I'm so sad that we can't get that. It's going to taunt me forever. We're going to go this way first, and then we'll turn around and go back up. This is the seal. This is where it's all locked up here. So we will go ahead and come in here, push this giant lever, and fun things happen. We are officially de-flooding the New Londo ruins. And that's the Valley of the Drakes out there, by the way. If you can't tell by the green valley and the drakes. Cool, so that's that bit done. There is... I'll show off this little elevator thing here, although I don't think we're going to use it at all. But there's a little elevator here. Hooray! Or are we using it? We are going to use this. This will take us to the actual Valley of the Drakes area. So that's how we can get out there. We'll come back around and deal with that in a moment. There was one other direction that we could have gone... up here, I think? I'm going to keep an eye on my transient curses. Oh, just an item. Okay. Composite bow and a large arrow. So you could have come over here and gotten the composite bow and the large arrow, and then you can come back down and you could shoot Ingward to death. You could see him up on top of the house there. You could shoot him, kill him, and get the key, and then you can use the key to unlock the New Londo ruins. So it's all kind of built in for you to be able to do what I'm doing here, like really early in the game at a really low level. So kind of cool. I love that the developers had that sort of foresight to put those sorts of things in there. Like here's a bow and a handful of arrows, and you know if you kill him, you get the key. So kind of a built-in, like almost just like an alternative path through the game. Okay, so I would rather not fight those drakes, and we got these guys to deal with now. These are Dark Wraiths. They have a couple of really, really nasty attacks, including an unblockable grab attack. And the grab attack is instant death if it hits you. They can drop Titanite chunks, though, so it's a great place to kind of farm up for Titanite chunks. They drop them, like, with a pretty high frequency. Also, look at all these, like, drowned bodies here. This is disgusting. These are all corpses that we're walking on. They sacrificed, like, Ingward was not kidding when he said they sacrificed an entire city to deal with the Four Kings. There's more Dark Wraiths up here. I know there are. And again, the game's taunting you when it leaves items out in the open like that. Like, oh, let's just run up and grab that item. You don't want to do that, because this guy will murder you. Yeah, they get really cool shields, too. Oh, and they have a crap ton of poise. Okay, well, our transient curse is not active. See, look at that. And we got a Titanite chunk. And I don't even have any humanity or any boost to my item finding stat. So that's pretty darn good. Whew, alright. Not a boss fight. Not yet. There's going to be some nasty stuff here, so I'm going to go slow. I'm going to try to just pull... There we go. Only like one of these guys at a time. There are quite a few of them in here, and I don't want to deal with them all. Easiest way to deal with them is to try to backstab them. I say, as I fail to demonstrate that. It is a pretty easy way of dealing with them. There's also going to be one of those nasty mutant slime monsters in here. And get you to follow me back over here, please? I don't want to deal with the slime just yet. Hoping I didn't anger it. I love the Darkwraith armor set. It looks so cool. Oh, there it is. That white hand thing that he just did, that's the... Oh, holy crap, you hurt. That's the unblockable grab attack right there. Oh, and there's the slime. Oh boy. Okay. Heal. Holy cow. I'm so glad that you're invincible when you do those animations. Okay. This thing is nasty. It is a one-time enemy. We kill it once and it'll be done. It has a couple of really nasty attacks. That being one of them, where it spits out the exploding faces that we encountered in the catacombs. It spits out sludge, which is gross, and then it does a stabby thing like that. And I think there's two of them that we're going to fight in here. There's one now, and then the other one later. Another exploding face, we'll deal with that. You're just super patient when you're dealing with this thing. Absolutely do not want to get greedy against this guy, because I don't want to take any of these hits. Ooh. 5,000 souls, not bad. We are building up quite a good number of souls. Alright, there's an exploding face. That's probably one that was spat out by the enemy. The slime thing that we were just fighting. So we're gonna trigger you and then be done. And then a couple of these rooms have Darkwraiths in them. There you are. I knew you were there somewhere. Man, I was really hoping that we would have gotten some more humanity by now. Oh, speak of the devil. We got one. That's awesome. Okay, there's an elevator there. I don't know if we want to deal with that just yet. So we're going to go up these stairs here. I think I'm going to need another transient curse in a moment. I'm just going to use a transient curse now. Soul of a Brave Warrior. Nothing attacked us. That's awesome. Need to be a little cautious here. Really don't want to die and lose all the souls that we have. And not to mention just like how long of a walk it would be to get back here. But I don't know if there's anything down below next to those stairs. We can go back and check in a moment. Amazing treasure ahead. You know what? That is 100% correct. This is what we are after. Ta-da! Very large ember. We can now take our weapons up to plus 15. We can transcend the plus 10 mark. That is just like the greatest thing of all time. I can finally max out my Demon's Great Axe. We do need Titanite chunks for that to happen. Luckily, these enemies in here drop the Titanite chunks, so I am probably going to do a little bit of farming to kill a bunch of these Dark Wraiths and get the Titanite chunks. And if I do that, I'm going to do it off camera. I'll probably show you like a run of what I was doing. So now we just need to get out of here. For the most part. Actually, there's a few more items we can pick up ahead. I don't know. This place is terrifying. Killed all the Dark Wraiths. We've killed most of the Dark Wraiths. Keep going. Oh, you know what? We'll go ahead and take this elevator back here, just so I can show where it leads. And we've killed like all the ghosts and stuff, so I feel fairly safe. We're not human. I don't think I'm going to be invaded. I feel pretty good about where we are right now. But this leads back up here to the intro area. So this is like the very first group of ghosts that we fight. And then like down here in the water is where they show up, and like the bridge back over to Blacksmith, and then the Valley of the Drakes, and Lighttown, and all that stuff. So yeah, this is the beginning. So now we can come from the beginning, from, you know, Firelink, and just run across this bridge here. Of course, there will be ghosts attacking us through the walls and all that stuff. But then elevator down, ta-da, and magically, we're back down here in Dark Wraith Town. So that's a pretty good deal. I like that. Let's check Titanite chunks. We have 4. I think we need like 9, 6, 8, something like that. We need a few more of them before we can upgrade our hammer. So that's a shame. I'll work on getting that though. And it'll probably be after the next video. Next video, I think we'll wander around here in the New Londo Ruins a bit more, because I know there's like a couple treasure chests that we can grab that have some Titanite chunks, I think, or at least one that'll have a Titanite chunk. And then there's a few more of the Dark Wraiths we can kill that might drop the Titanite chunks. So got a little bit of stuff we can do. So yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you all for joining me. Watch out for Dark Wraiths. May the grace of the Twilight Dragon be with you.